What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Hangout. I am BJ Kicks, your host. I buy comics, I read them, I review them. And like I said, this is the Hangout. We do this every single Thursday at 7 p.m. for about an hour, sometimes two. But yeah, so this is the show where we talk about whatever we want to talk about because we're hanging out. And yeah, we do this all the time. So hopefully, if you're watching on the replay, you get to catch us live one of these days. And if you're here in the chat, say what's up. C Rook's here. He's been here for a minute. He had time to brush his teeth today, trying to figure out who's back. It's not Shady. It's me. It's me. Fun fact, speaking of fish needing hooks, I once had a beta fish, or my daughter had a beta fish named Swim Shady. Very cool stuff. So that's just an interesting crossover there that you guys brought about in the chat and didn't even know it. What's up, James? What's good? Party time. Party time. Tonight it's my wife's birthday today. So it's definitely party time. Have no idea if this murder needed a hook or not. Did AI not tell you? It does not need a hook. This type of murder does not need a hook. Your sister had a fighting fish called Fishy Smalls. That's funny. Yeah, Swim Shady, the beta fish, died when I changed the water in his tank, and I made the water too hot. I kind of boiled the fish. What's up, Detroit Mel? Not a lot going on. Love that avatar. Yoda with headphones on. DJ Yoda. Yeah. So tonight we're hanging out. We don't have a super structured show. I did pull up some topics because, I wanted to talk about some things, but it's been busy. It's been busy on my end. And so I didn't want to make this a super high pressure hangout. I just wanted to come, let my hair down, have some fun. I appreciate that. I legit kind of want to get another fish and name it Swim Shady again. Like every fish we ever get will just be Swim Shady 2 and 3 and whatever. My dad has fish as well. It's a hard thing to keep track of. We nearly blew up the tank with a heater once. It overheated and killed half the fish. Wow. That's rough. What's up, Mangole? Mang? Ole? If I say Mang, then I say Ole, I'm just going to say mango. So there's that. But yeah, so what was I saying? We don't have a super packed show. I do have some things I want to talk about, but for now, let's just hang out a little bit. I would love to know what you guys picked up this week. Have you read anything yet this week? If so, tell me what your favorite book was that you picked up so far. I've read a few books. We're going to get into them in a little bit. I read 4 books so far. I've read X-Men. I just finished X-Men before the stream started. Nightwing's really good. The Flash is pretty good. And the Hulk was decent. So those are the books I read. We'll talk about those soon. Your new fish can be the channel's new mascot. Dog, we don't need another pet in this house. I've got an 11-year-old. I got a 1-year-old. Well, she's not 1 yet. She'll be 1 next month. That's crazy. Squeak will be 1 in a month. But yeah, got a baby. We got a dog and a cat. I'm not adding a fish, a bird, a mouse. We don't need anything else. Let's see. Villy's here. What's up, Villy? What is up? C. Rook read Wanted Hal Jordan this week and hated it. I've never read that one. I do have it in one of those Eagle Moss books, but I have not read it. Mary picked up Nightwing, says it was good. That's what's up. I really enjoyed Nightwing this week. Nice Son of Kal-El issue there. So before we move any further, got to give a few shout outs. So first up, shout out to Ultimate Comics, my LCS. Ultimate Comics is really the best place to go for comics if you're living in the Triangle area. And even if you're not living in the Triangle area of North Carolina, they do these exclusive retailer exclusive variants. So it's a little bit of something for everybody. My daughter's like wilding out right now. She's not even crying. Like that's just her making noise, just to hear herself make noise. But anyway, Ultimate Comics does these retailer exclusives like this one out this week for Hulk #4. This is an homage to the Incredible Hulk issue 181 by Arthur Adams. You can grab the set at ultimatecomics.com or just click the first link or the second link in the description of this video. But yeah, super dope. You can get the full color or you can get the set, which gives you a color issue and the black and white cover issue. That set's $49.99, and I believe it is limited to 500 copies for that black and white cover. So definitely jump on it quickly if you want it. But yeah, so that's Ultimate Comics. And then I do have another quick shout out to the homies, and I'll share my screen here. All right, so I got to shout out the homies at Fourth Wall Comics and their Kickstarter campaign for Lumberjacks, Destiny by Any Means, which is, you know, the third issue in the Lumberjacks series. You guys can see right here, like, it's a nice little trailer. Lumberjacks is a brand new hero who has roots in like Ethiopian lore with like some Christian mythology there as well. Would you call it Christian mythology? It's probably not the right way to put that. But anyway, super cool hero. This is their third issue. As you can see, the campaign is already fully funded. Now we're working towards some stretch goals, including the fourth issue. So you can catch up on Lumberjacks. If you've never read Lumberjacks, no worries. Most of these tiers do include, at the very least, a digital copy of Lumberjacks issues 1, 2, and 3. So you can read the full story. But yeah, check that out before the campaign ends in just 12 days. So, is it raining? I think it's raining. That's crazy. My man Bunkmaster B says this week was just the furthest place from here, #4. He loves Boston Rosenberg and Supergirl #8. How was Supergirl? I read the first issue of Supergirl and it was good. I just was like, you know what? I need to cut some fat. And so Supergirl didn't make it when I was trimming my pull list down back in like December. Let's see. Detroit Mel says my son screams all the time just because. Yeah, my daughter is like, I have a voice. I would like to be heard. Let's see. The Nugs and Only says, what do you think about the delays in comics lately? For me, it's making me consider not getting singles and just waiting for the hardcover or the trade. I mean, honestly, man, my pull, I have so many books to read that the delays I don't necessarily notice, except when it's like a limited series, right? So all the Milestone Returns books, for example, Static Season 1 should have been done. As a matter of fact, there was a hardcover solicited for Static Season 1 that was supposed to come out on February 1st, along with the Milestone Compendium. But Static Season 1, issue #5 just came out, 2 weeks ago? And issue 6 hasn't come out yet. So it's going to take, now they've delayed the hardcover to like June or something. Same with the Milestone Black History Month special. It's kind of weird to have a Black History Month special come out not during Black History Month. So it's definitely a bummer. There are some stories where I feel like that timeliness is key. But chances are, even if I were to wait for trades, like I'd still have plenty to read otherwise. Villy says, anybody fund the David Finch book? I did. I backed the David Finch art book. He does a Monday night stream, and so he's got a compilation of like the first year of his sketches from the Monday Night Draw series, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Delays have always been a part of comics. Watchmen was delayed. So I've heard. I wasn't born then. Doomsday Clock I know was delayed. Like when I got into comics, Doomsday Clock was at issue like 7 or 8, and it took like forever for the rest of it to come out. Bunkmaster B says it's a Juneteenth special now. I feel you. I mean, they say Black history is American history, so it could come out anytime. I just hope they don't call it the Black History Month special. Let's see. Detroit Mel has been leaning towards hardcovers and trade paperbacks. Hasn't been keeping up with series, so collect editions seem the best way for me. Yeah, there are a lot of books where it's like I might have picked up the first couple of issues and never got around to it. And then by the time I do, I've noticed that the trade is like right around the corner. So for example, Batman the Detective, the hardcover came out this week. I just read all of Batman the Detective like on New Year's Eve, like over the Christmas holiday. I technically could have just waited for the hardcover, but it is what it is. Let's see. Silent JMR. Have you been reading the new Nubia comic? I have not. I grabbed issue 1, didn't read it, but I did grab a bunch of these Black History Month variants, and Nubia in the Amazon's number 5 was one of the Black History Month variants. Nubia, she kind of looks like a cross between like Beyonce and Serena Williams right here. But I love this cover by Alexis Franklin and all of the Black History Month covers by Alexis Franklin. But yeah, the Nubia book is probably one that I would just grab in trades or hardcover. I'm trying to be more disciplined about what books I buy on a weekly or monthly basis and which books I just wait for. And pretty soon I'm going to be moving to digital for a lot of stuff. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of physical books for me to talk about every week. But I do plan on moving to digital for some things just because I have a baby in the house and my baby is like army crawling now. So I can't safely leave comics around anywhere anymore. So I'm going to have to get an iPad. At least with an iPad, it's like waterproof and therefore drool proof. And it likely wouldn't be on the floor. So, once I do that, I think I'll be able to read a lot more because then I can read and not just be in here. Says they're doing SJW stuff in it. I feel you, I guess. I don't really subscribe to the whatever. We don't have to get into that conversation. I shouldn't have highlighted the comment. As a history fan, Black American history is super interesting. I agree. I was actually an African American history major in college. Top Gun's here. He says he can't stay, but he did bring a like. I appreciate it, sir. Smash that like button. I don't know why people want you to smash the like button. Like if you can just tap it. It does the same thing. Blaine's here. What's up, dude? He's the juggernaut. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. You excited for any of the upcoming DC events? Not a fan of events myself, but they're so prevalent that I'm shifting to limited series and indies. Yeah, so event fatigue is a thing. Death Metal and Ten of Swords kind of broke me from events because they were happening at the same time. I decided to go all in on Death Metal and all the tie-ins, and so I fell behind on Ten of Swords. And it was such a chore catching up with Ten of Swords and going into the rest of the X-Men. Events are rough. I enjoy them when they're important and when they keep the tie-ins to a minimum, right? Like Absolute Carnage had like 85,000 tie-in books. It was a 5-issue series. There's no reason for there to be that many tie-ins, right? Same with King in Black, although it wasn't as bad with King in Black. Death Metal was like half a short box. Like I did a video about Death Metal and just how many tie-in books there were. And it was funny because most of the tie-ins for Death Metal were good, but they weren't necessary. So that's the thing. Like I hate tie-ins as a reader, but I have to buy them as a collector because there's always a chance that something is going to do well, or something's going to be good and be like super relevant. Like even with this Amazing Spider-Man, the Beyond storyline, it's a weekly story right now. But like in one of those random, seemingly throwaway issues, Peter Parker comes out of a coma. So it's like that's important. And so they get you with these little tricks to make you keep buying books and buying books. And it's just, I'd rather have good miniseries. The problem is with the miniseries, they're good, but they're also like, for what? Now, the indie titles are great. Like Primordial's wrapping up this week. By the way, Diamond, I don't know what's going on, but this is the third week in a row that Diamond has not been on time at Ultimate Comics. They just, I don't know. I think there was a storm or something. Something's going on, but logistics is just not their thing right now. So I don't have Primordial or King Spawn or the Ninja Turtles for the second month in a row, by the way, on Ninja Turtles. Hopefully we get them soon. But yeah. Let's see. What did you think of Batman the Imposter? I didn't read Batman the Imposter. Was that the Jock book? No, the Jock book was One Dark Night. That's the thing. There's so many of these little onesie twosie events and miniseries that it's like, why do I need all of them? You don't need all of them. You can probably skip a lot of them. Searook has a hard case of event fatigue. Here's the word event. It's like a comic fan just switches off, to be honest. I feel you. I've been enjoying Devil's Reign as an event. The tie-ins have been at a minimum, and it's been a nice book. It's just been a good book. I don't know if it really counts as an event. It's not like a show-stopping Marvel thing, but it's good, and it's there, so. Silent JMR says he's been buying all the Milestone comics, the new Batman, and the new Spawn too. That's what's up. Yeah, I've been enjoying the Milestone Returns books. I've done a lot of videos about them. I Am Batman, that is actually really good now. For a very long time, I was up and down on Jace Fox. Like the next Batman Future State series was okay, not great in my opinion. And then the next Batman Second Son, that 4-issue series, I wasn't really a big fan of. But then it really started to hit its stride with I Am Batman. Issue 1 was great. And then like issues 2 and 3 or something came out, and they were like Fear State tie-ins. Once they got out of the Fear State tie-ins, I Am Batman really hit a stride. Like issue 5 was really good. Issue 6 was even better. And now I'm excited about this series and the Fox family being in New York. There's some really interesting drama there, and it's doing a really good job of separating the Fox family with what's going on with Bruce Wayne and, you know, the traditional Bat family in Gotham. Really compelling story. So yeah, I Am Batman is great. And Spawn is also black. I've not been reading Spawn. I've been buying Spawn, but I haven't been reading Spawn. Let's see. Buckmaster B says, "Don't Stop Believing" came on the office radio. He told his coworkers how we were talking about in the Discord. I did say that "Don't Stop Believing" is a song that gets like all the white people to stop in their tracks and start singing. And he says they all agreed. That's hilarious. Yeah, I walked into a theater party one time in college because one of my friends was a theater major, a drama major, an acting major, whatever you call them. She was in that program, and yeah, I had no idea that "Don't Stop Believing" and "Living on a Prayer" were like the white people cheat codes. That's stereotypical. Skip left the Discord, right? If he did, he didn't tell me. He may have. I have no idea. I guess I could check it out. Let's see. Let's see. Open Discord in my browser. And my man Skip. Apparently, it looks like he left the Discord. Huh. Yeah. Guess so. Well, Yeah, looks like Skip left the Discord. Had no idea. I'm sure he had a good reason. Let's see. Did you read the truth about the first Captain America? Also, are you keeping up with the movies and TV series? Are you into Star Wars too? It's a lot of questions. No, I have not read the truth, although they did just release a trade paperback collecting the truth series. I don't. I haven't been keeping up with the MCU ever since Endgame. Not that I'm like totally out of it. I just haven't invested the time. I watched WandaVision and I watched some of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I didn't watch any of Loki. I haven't seen Black Widow. Haven't seen The Eternals. I've seen half of Shang-Chi. I think we're caught up. I am very excited about Doctor Strange 2, though. Like that trailer got me hyped. That's the most excited I've been about the MCU since Endgame. Born Hitman says he's liking the Black Label stuff. Batman Imposter was awesome. Suicide Squad Blaze was awesome. And he's looking forward to the new Black Label Aquaman. Ram V is writing that, right? Let's see. Billy said he finally got caught up with everything in the MCU and it was a chore. It just, somewhere down the line, they just put out a bunch of content. And I think because it wasn't happening at the movie theater, I just kind of overlooked it. And all of a sudden I looked up and there was like 85 hours of MCU to catch up on. And I just wasn't interested in catching up on it. Just wasn't. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta filter through y'all's comments. It's all on Disney Plus. Doctor Strange 2, yes, I'm very excited about Doctor Strange 2. I mean, the Professor X tease, that was all I needed. That was all I needed to get excited. Kevin Carr wants to know if I read Monkey Prince #1. I read a lot of Monkey Prince #1. I don't think I finished it, though. It was fun. But I don't think I finished the book. Ram V's been rocking the darker side of DC. Word. I'm enjoying Ram V on Venom. I'm enjoying Ram V on Venom, and then when it's time for Al Ewing to like blast us into space, I get like really like deep sigh. I miss Donny Cates on Venom. Disney Plus shows lead up to the multiverse. They're all very good. I haven't seen What If either. That was the other thing. So Loki, What If, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and something else. Let's see. Oh, somebody asked if I'm into Star Wars. I like the original Star Wars movies, like the first 6. I'm not a big fan of the prequels, so just call it the first 3. I like The Last Jedi, like, sue me. Yeah, I like the second trilogy as well, but there was a lot of, I guess it's the third trilogy. There's a lot of stuff that like they opened up in the first movie and then just like completely like went a different way. Like I'm kind of mad that Finn never got to be a Jedi because that's definitely what they were teasing. Also, Finn and Rey not ending up like as a couple. That's definitely what they were alluding to. There were a lot of things that just didn't make sense about that trilogy, but I still enjoyed it. It's just fun. I mean, the lightsaber battle in, was it The Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker, where Kylo Ren and Rey are fighting like the little armed guard? That was the second one before Snoke gets killed. So yeah, I enjoy Star Wars. As far as Star Wars comics, I've not read a single one. I'm waiting for the reprint of the Jason Aaron Star Wars and the Kieran Gillen Darth Vader, and that's where I'm going to start my Star Wars reading. Let's see. I watched WandaVision. I liked WandaVision. I like WandaVision a lot. I did like WandaVision a lot. I did not watch Mandalorian. I watched a lot of the first season of Mandalorian, and then somewhere along the line they came up with a second season that I had no idea. And now the Book of Boba Fett is apparently like basically Mandalorian season 3. And so, yeah. I'm a big Grogu guy. Seeing him was cool for me. Very upset to not have more about Fett in a show called Boba Fett. Word? Dang. Anyone else still reading crossover, or is that just me? It's definitely Morrison Animal Man level chaos. I dropped crossover at the end of issue or after issue 6. Yeah, because they were crossing into like all these like, little known Image titles. Maybe not little known. That's putting a lot on it. But they were crossing over into all these Image titles, and I hadn't read any of them, so I felt like it just wasn't hitting the same for me. But I've heard it's still really good. Am I a Lord of the Rings fan? No. I'm not a big fantasy fan, and I wasn't a big Star Wars fan until 2015 when all the new movies came out. My wife's family, they're all big Star Wars fans, and they were like, "Oh, we're all going to go see the last," or what was it? What was the first new thing called? I don't know. But whenever episode 7 came out, like they were like, we're gonna all go see that. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna binge watch every Star Wars movie so that I know what people are talking about when we go to this movie theater. And it took me to like midway through The Empire Strikes Back to get Star Wars. I had tried it like 18 times before, never made it past Luke's parents being killed on Tatooine, right? Or whatever, uncle and aunt. Never made it past that part. I was like, this movie is boring, turned it off. But yeah, I finally watched back in 2015. And like I said, halfway through Empire Strikes Back, I'm like, oh, light bulb goes off. This is what the movie is about. Now I got to see how it ends. And, the rest is history. What's up, Tim? It's my homie. What's good? They did the bait and switch with Finn. Then they did some other stuff that they just do to black people. I still watch it. Word. Am I getting the Punisher #1? I would like to get the Punisher #1. I'm a big fan of like street level heroes. I love the ruthless heroes. So people like Batman, the Punisher, who don't mind like just sticking it to the bad guys, always get a vote from me. I've never read any Punisher, so that'll be fun. The Force Awakens, that's what it was called. I like The Force Awakens. I like The Force Awakens a lot. Star Wars does have a lot of filler. There's a lot in there. There's a whole lot in there. Let's see. The government has avoided a shutdown. I didn't know we were headed towards another shutdown. I feel like this happens like every 6 weeks. Let's see. That's funny. Have you seen Peacemaker? Shockingly great stuff. No, I didn't see the newest Suicide Squad movie, so I didn't jump into Peacemaker. Do I need to watch Suicide Squad before I watch Peacemaker? Because I've heard it's good. Speaking of TV shows, this one's not comic related at all, but I've been watching Bel-Air, and it is awesome. It is so good. Like, it is so awesome. Like, everything you know about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's there, but it's flipped. And it's so good. It is so good. So watch Bel-Air. Sugar Man's here. What's up, dude? Punisher comics on automatic for me. I feel you. Kevin Carr just watched the Dennis Cowan interview. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Can't wait to get Blood Syndicate and the Black History Month book. Oh, yes. The tease for Blood Syndicate. That homage cover by Crisscross, awesome. The fact that Crisscross is doing the art, awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited about Blood Syndicate. And they just announced the Duo series, which seems to be like a reworking of Zombie. But that's coming out this May as well. So I'm very excited about, phase 2 of the Milestone Returns Earth M stories. Very cool, but I'm very much excited about Blood Syndicate. Everything about Fresh Prince is flipped, turned upside down. Yes. Yes. What I love about Bel Air, besides everything being flipped and like dark and dramatic and stuff, there are so many Easter eggs to the original series. And yeah, it was really good. Yes, Tom. There's a new half-hour comedy on ABC called Abbott Elementary. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, give it a try. Yeah, I've been trying to watch more TV. Ever since I started watching Naomi, I was like, you know what? Let's try out some TV shows and see how that is. Got this big TV behind me. Why watch YouTube all the time? So Abbott Elementary was one of the first things I got into. I love it. It is, if you haven't seen Abbott Elementary, it is The Office with Black people set in an elementary school. That's what it is. Every character is great. I love the principal. I love the dude from Everybody Hates Chris. I love his character. Of course, the main character. It's just good. It's hilarious. It's great. It's great. And so yeah, I've been checking it out. I've been checking it out every week. Naomi's been disappointing, but I'm still watching. It was definitely jarring from me because I actually read and really enjoyed the Naomi comic book, and the Naomi TV show is very different from the comic. But ever since episode 3, I feel like it's hit a stride, and I'm actually down for the ride now. I'm down for the ride. Let's see. What did I miss? He's talking about Ray. Ray doesn't have any training, but she can beat everyone. I feel you. But I mean, how much training did we see Luke go through? Not necessary to watch the movie, but the show does spoil the climax. Talking about Peacemaker. Let's see. Have you seen The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler and Chris Rock? It's been a very long time. I don't think I even saw the whole movie. I just saw enough to like know a couple of quotes, like Terry Crews quotes. Like, you're being a real Mick jerk. Matthew Hendricks, the Proud Family's coming back. We really are living in the 90s all over again. Yeah, man. I like the reboots, but then like, I don't know. I guess I'd rather have reboots than some of like the stuff that I've seen out. Like, if you turn on Cartoon Network or go to the Cartoon Network section of Hulu, it's like a bunch of like dumb stuff. Like, it was like SpongeBob like turned a corner, and then all of a sudden every cartoon was like stupid funny. And like, just super base level humor. I missed like smart, sophisticated shows. You're right. I did see Craig of the Creek, and I enjoyed it. There was just my wife and I, we were on. I don't know, was it our anniversary? We just like got a hotel at some point, and this is what we do. We watch like the most juvenile stuff. One time we watched Bob Ross all day, but then this other time we turned on Cartoon Network. Craig of the Creek comes on, and it's like the episode where the dude is playing video games against his dad, and the dad is showing like no mercy. And I was like, oh, this show is great. This show is great. Let's see. Longest Yard is top 5 sports comedies of all time. They can't think of new ideas, so they go back to the past. Speaking of going back to the past, thank you so much for giving me a segue to talk about our first topic. So, I don't know how many of you guys are aware, but George Perez was recently diagnosed with stage 3 pancreatic cancer, um, which is just super bummer news, right? Pancreatic cancer is one of those where it's like you might have a couple of months, you might have a couple of days, but it's like everyone that I've known of who's gotten pancreatic cancer, it was like they found out they had cancer and then like a month later they were gone. So it's just really sad. It's super sad. But George Perez has decided he's like, I'm not going to go through any chemo or radiation or any other like debilitating treatment. I'm just going to live my life, try to stay comfortable, keep going to the doctor for checkups, manage pain. But he's like, look, I'm trying to do whatever I can do. He was talking about trying to go to a con. I don't think that's going to happen. They were trying to do a big CGC signing, but they had to cancel that because George came down with some sort of infection, ended up being hospitalized. So that is a real bummer news. But out of that has been a massive effort by DC and Marvel to get the JLA Avengers crossover reprinted. This was a series that came out in 2003. It was 4 issues, and they had printed it originally in like an absolute, like oversized hardcover. They are reprinting this in trade paperback format, but it's going to be limited to 7,000 copies. It's only going to be available on the direct market, so you're not going to be able to find it on like Amazon or anything like that, at least not at first. I'm sure there will be scalpers that will put this up on eBay after the fact. But for now, the date on it is March 16th. You can try calling up your local comic shop to get it pre-ordered. Chances are every shop that orders this is going to get like 1 to 3 copies, maybe. And it's going to be a total bloodbath. So good luck. I hope everyone watching this who wants a copy of this book is one of the 7,000 that ends up being able to get one. Yeah, I think I've got this. I've got this in single issues on layaway. But I really do want the trade paperback, but we'll see. We'll see. Purple Rain 225. Was sad to hear about George Perez. Thanks for bringing up Jla Avengers Trade. Yeah, so Jla Avengers, as far as how you're going to be able to get it, like I said, it's only going to be available on the direct market. So, at a local comic shop or, places like organicpricebooks.com. What JP is doing is he's got the link on his website. So he's got a product there loaded, but it's listed as sold out. What you can do is add it to your wish list. If you have an account at Organic Price Books, add it to your wish list. And if he gets any stock, he's going to load it all in there. And when he loads it in there, you'll get an email notification. And all I'm going to say is you better act quickly, because I don't expect JP to get more than like 25 copies of this book. And even that is a super ambitious number. Out of 7,000, with all the comic shops in the country and all the big online retailers taking pre-orders and stuff, it's going to be so hard to get this book. Hopefully they do another print run or something. I don't know why they limited it to 7,000. I saw online that they were saying that's just all the lawyers could agree on, the lawyers between DC and Marvel, or, Warner and Disney or whatever. But yeah, it's going to be insane. How much is it going to cost? It's going to retail for $29.99, which is a super reasonable price. All the proceeds are going to the Hero Initiative, which is a charity that basically just helps comic book creators to, pay their bills and stuff in times of need. A Kickstarter would have been a great middle ground. I agree. I don't know what legalities caused it to be so limited. Like, I would have loved some kind of a, pay up front pre-order limited run. Like for example, with John Paul Leon, when he passed away, they did a Kickstarter for an artist edition of his series, The Wintermen. And it was basically like, everybody who backed the Kickstarter was able to get the artist edition, and they're only printing enough for the backers. And when they're gone, they're gone. But I'm like, at least everybody that wanted to back it could back it. So if they backed it to the tune of $500,000, well, there's $500,000 worth of those books out there. I would have loved to see something like this or something like that happen with this. But something about this character's licensing, I don't know what was in that original agreement that prevents it from coming out again. You would think they could just strike up a new agreement and share the profits, but hey, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be tough to get. It's going to be very tough to get. And I know for a fact that we're going to just see these jump on eBay on March 17th. And we're going to be mad because they're going to be selling for like $100 a pop. At least. But yeah, I'm really excited about the 64 pages of companion content. I don't know what that means. Like, there's a new afterword by Kurt Busiek. And I'm assuming there's going to be like sketches, character designs, all that stuff. Just all a bunch of George Perez goodness. I hope we get to see it. I hope the people that really want to read it get to read it. You mean to tell me I could have made that picture bigger the whole time? Yeah, I've never read this. I'm excited to read it eventually. So yeah, have you guys read these? Let's see. Afro Sci-Fi has read. He has the original comics. Would love to have the new paperback. Yeah, I've got a set of these on layaway, issues 1 through 4. I'm really excited about that. I was hoping for like a trade paperback. I mean, a trade paperback I'm happy with. I would love a hardcover, but I mean, hey. But I'm just excited to like get into these. I didn't start in comics until 2019. Almost exactly 3 years ago, and so I'm just getting to the point where I'm like trying to catch up on like all these seminal events. I mean, there's like over 90 years of comic book history. There's no way I'm reading every comic that anyone ever deemed good. But some of these standouts like this and like the amalgam stuff, like that's the type of stuff I'm interested in, like just historical things that may never happen again. So I'm really excited. Hopefully, this reprint, the proceeds from it do a lot of good. And hopefully everybody that wants one can get one without paying ridiculous scalper prices. Are we still talking about Star Wars? We're still talking about Star Wars. Got you. So let's see. Issues 1 through 4 are about 300 currently. Is that the single issue set, or is that like the absolute that came out a while ago? You know what? Let's check eBay prices. You know what? I'll do it on this tab. Jla Avengers. Okay, so it seems you can still get a lot of these issues. I'm not seeing a bunch of sets. I'm not seeing a bunch of people having issues 1 through 4. Here's that absolute, the collector's edition hardcover, $400. That's honestly not terrible for what you're getting. Like, if they're never gonna reprint it, I wouldn't mind paying $400 for that. Okay, here is a trade paperback for one. Well, the bidding is at $140. Let's look at the sold prices. Okay, so yeah, Jla Avengers set. Somebody sold one for $139. Somebody sold this trade paperback for $250. Something below $75. This is DC versus Marvel, not Jla Avengers. That's different. Yeah, not a lot of these Jla Avengers sets going around. $125. Yeah, it looks like if you split it up, if you do separate searches for issues 1, 2, 3, and 4, you might get lucky. This one only sold for $99. Not bad. But you might get lucky. But I mean, if you can get number 1 for $15, then do that. Do that all day. So in the weeds. I am so in the weeds right now. Let's see. Are they still available? If you're asking about the reprint Jla Avengers does not come out until March 16th. And that reprint, it's you're gonna have to reach out to a local comic shop to see what they can do for you. I'm assuming most comic shops are gonna have some kind of a waiting list, or I know my shop is just they're gonna order it, and if it comes in, cool. It's gonna be first come, first served, and I am absolutely taking off work to be at the comic shop that day because I don't want to take chances. Do not want to take chances. Let's see. Yeah, hopefully they'll take your pre-order. Hail BJ. You don't have to hail to me, but what's up? Good to see you. You were talking about the trade paperback. Absolute was worse. Got you. Yeah. JDA has got the big absolute size of this series. I wish, I wasn't in comics when those books came out. It's stuff like that I get excited about when, let's talk about it. Like all of this X-Men right here, all of this stuff was out of print when I started collecting comics. And I bought all of this stuff because I remember everybody saying, oh, hopefully they reprinted. These books are going for this much and that much. And so when I had a chance to get, Uncanny X-Men and all that for like $60, I was like, yeah, let me get that. Let me get all of that. And so that's how I've built up all this X-Men, all this Batman on this other side. I'm just now starting to kind of calm down and be like, all right, they're reprinting everything like every 4 months. So like you need to decide what you actually want. Because I was buying it up thinking I would never get a chance to get it again. And that's where we are with this Avengers JLA stuff. Like I would love a chance to have that in a collected format, especially a hardcover. But those people that were just there when it happened, like you guys were lucky. All the Marvel DC crossover stuff is super hard to find now. Yeah, let's see. What I have like one Marvel DC thing. Let me show you guys. So yeah, this is what I have. I've got this DC versus Marvel, which this trade paperback I got from the Ultimate Comics live show almost a year ago, maybe at least a year ago. And I paid like $60 for this. And then this one, this is the Amalgam Age of Comics. There were like 2 or 3 of these trade paperbacks. And I didn't pay very much for this one because it's damaged. It's damaged on the cover. But yeah, like these cost me money a year ago and they're going for even more now. But yeah, I would love the chance to have some more of this stuff in a collected format, right? Like this is dope to me. Like this is like what comics is about. Like the fact that Batman can't fight Captain America anymore, that's whack. But the fact that it happened at all is just amazing. That's something to marvel at. Like, look at that. But that's DC versus Marvel. They came back later and did the JLA Avengers thing. And yeah. Yeah, stuff like this is golden. But yeah, so anyway, I hope that George Perez, there's a lot of money raised in his honor. Hope that his family is doing well. I hope he's not in a lot of pain, because I know like they've had some setbacks, and it's rough. That's rough. This is why we need a comic book monopoly. I don't know about that. Like, I wouldn't want all of the characters to be owned by the same company. That'd be kind of whack. But yeah, so that's the JLA Avengers news. Like I said, if you want that trade paperback, they're limiting it to 7,000 copies, which is not a lot at all. So call your LCS. If you don't have an LCS, get one. You don't have one, get one. I'm playing. But yeah, I mean, Things from Another World, Organic Price Books, bunch of all these places that offer pre-orders. I mean, the worst that can happen is they're going to cancel your pre-order. So find somewhere that's listing a pre-order, and may the odds ever be in your favor. They need to reprint the new Teen Titans Omni Volume 2 as well, where I appreciate it. If I was one of 7,000, I wouldn't read my copy. I just keep it on the shelf and pirate read it. Word. Yeah, I mean, that's a good option, right? Like reading books digitally, if you don't want to mess them up, you don't want to mess up the integrity of the book. I just love reading things physically, but if you got like a decent tablet or something, like reading digitally can be just as cool. Thanks, Mason. I appreciate that. I got this shirt from, I think I got it from Target. But yes, thanks for the compliments. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel. Gabriel's here. What's up, dude? What is up? Hope you're doing well. So yeah, have you guys read any of this week's books yet? I picked up a few, and so we can do this series, or we can just move into a new segment. I'm trying to divide this show into segments, right? So this show, or this segment, is going to be called What I Read, and it's brought to you by Organic Price Books. Organic Price Books is the best place to look for collected editions online, trade paperbacks, omnibus, oversized hardcovers. They've got it all. You can browse through the hundreds of books they've got in stock. You can find hundreds of books that are back ordered they can get from any distributor for you, as well as pre-orders for books coming out soon. So definitely check out Organic Price Books. If you do, be sure to use my coupon code BJKicks. It'll save you an extra $2 on every order, every time. So thanks to Organic Price Books for sponsoring this segment of the Hangout called What I Read. And what did I read? So far this week's books, and don't worry, I try to keep these spoiler free. X-Men number 8. X-Men number 8. Obviously, MODOK is a big deal in this issue. He's the big bad. So the mutants are trying to save more mutants from this experiment that MODOK's trying to do. MODOK is trying to do some bad things. And, without spoiling the issue, the X-Men, of course, prevent those things from happening. Things that stood out to me in this issue, Sync and Wolverine, rekindling an old flame, maybe. And there's a revelation as to how, remember when I was telling you guys that there was a dude who knew about the resurrection protocols and was about to like make it public? There's a really interesting revelation about that guy and how they handled it. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed issue 8 of X-Men. I've been enjoying X-Men ever since Jerry Duggan took over, which is interesting because I was not feeling his Marauders after a while, but I'm still loving his X-Men. I don't know, 8.5 out of 10. Really good comic book. Let's see. Chris, what's up, dude? Nightwing was really good as usual. He enjoyed issue 1 of Iron Fist. I forgot about Iron Fist. Like, I knew it was coming out, and then I forgot to grab it at my comic shop. But I mean, I'm like 5 minutes away, so I'll go grab it tomorrow, maybe. Somebody wants to know who did this cover. And let's see. The cover for X-Men issue 8 is by Pepe Larraz. Pepe Larraz did this cover featuring MODOK. A very good cover indeed. Let's see. So what else did I read? Flash 779. We're finally kind of getting to the end of this whole Rumble in Gem world, as they're calling it. Wally versus Eclipso. We got the end of the conclusion of that part of the story. Sort of. We figured out who the big bad was. That guy gets defeated. There's a really cool moment with the Spectre. And what I really liked about this was the Flash's kids, Wally's kids. This is a really good book. I was talking about this on a few streams ago, right? But like, there's a lot of there's a scene in here where Wally, it's basically alluded to that like God is pleased with Wally, and it's Wally being like very much like religious in this sense, and like there's people online like to say that there's not like a lot of comics with like conservative values or things you would consider traditionally like right leaning values. This is one of them. It's nothing like crazy overt, but it's just like believable storytelling with a believable perspective from a guy who just, works hard, believes in God, is a family man, like, so-called traditional family values. Definitely in this book. Very good stuff. I enjoyed it. Let's see. Kevin just ordered his Milestone Compendium. It'll be here Monday. Oh, my bad. Hold on. I'd give this one an 8 out of 10 as well. X-Men I'd say was a step above this. This one got wordy. This will be an 8. X-Men an 8.5. But Kevcar ordered his Milestone Compendium. It'll be here Monday. Should have ordered it from Organic Price Books instead of Amazon. Yeah, you should have, man. I ordered one from each of those places. And my copy from Amazon arrived all sorts of dinged up. Not terrible. It was the one you saw in my overview. But the copy I got from Organic Price Books, it still had the little soft bubble wrap type shroud on it. Immaculate condition. Like, not a scratch, not a wrinkle, not a little ruffle where somebody rubbed against the edge of the trade paperback. I was very excited about the condition from Organic Price Books. And I'm not saying that just because they sponsored me, because I had to pay for that book, but it arrived in great condition. Ryan says, "What's good, man? Just got out of the gym listening on the way home. Good to see you. Glad you got that work in. Hopefully your workout was good. Hopefully you didn't pull anything, and you still have full range of motion tomorrow." Let's see. Sorry. My hey guys. Kids crying. I'm trying to make sure we're all good. All right. OPB books come through amazing. Absolutely. C. Rook says he gave Wanted Hal Jordan a 1.2 out of 10. I've never read that story. I can't comment on how good or not good it is or was. Let's see. Nightwing 89. This is probably my favorite issue that I've read so far. But I mean, I still got Green Lantern to go through, 10 Lives of Wolverine, Venom. What else did I grab this week? Amazing Spider-Man I haven't read yet. Justice League I haven't read yet, though I don't anticipate that being, the greatest book in the world. Detective Comics. So yeah, this very well could end up being pick of the week. But Nightwing 89, it's Tom Taylor. He's doing a crossover with his other series, Superman, Son of Kal-El. Long story short, John is kind of struggling with this whole being Superman thing. He needs some guidance. And who's there to step in? Dick Grayson, to be a mentor. and really heartfelt, really heartwarming. I felt like we understood a lot more about John. There's a nice flashback scene kind of showing how Dick Grayson and John Kent meet, and how their relationship has evolved. I just really love Dick Grayson as a character. Just love him as a character, and this just solidifies it. Like Nightwing, Tom Taylor can do no wrong on this Nightwing title. Like, just being real. Just being real. And I'm excited to see how this wraps up in the Son of Kal-El issue number 9 coming up soon. And Kevin says, late to the party. What up, though? I give this one, would I give it a 9? A 9 is the best book I've read in the week. So far, this is a 9. Maybe something will knock it down. Maybe something will knock it off. But yeah, I give it a 9 so far. Really liked it. Not a ton of action, but a lot of heart. And I like heart. Hold on a second, guys. Be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. I thought I heard a baby coughing. I did hear a baby coughing, but everything's good. We're all good. Let's see. Chris says, what do you think of Hulk by Cates? Loving how crazy it's getting and jumping the shark each issue. Yeah, that's the last book I was going to talk about because I did read Hulk by Cates this week. Issue number 4. So I'm going to get to that in just a second. While we're talking about Nightwing, Bunkmaster B says, love how referential Taylor's Nightwing run has been to Nightwing's history. In Nightwing Year 1, Dick goes to Clark when he's lost. Taylor brings it full circle with John coming to Dick when he's lost. Word. I haven't read Nightwing Year 1, but I do know that like Nightwing and Superman do have a history. So yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. I just love how this book kind of brings like everything that I love about comics and like just really shows why Dick Grayson is such a great character. I'm gonna let y'all know I'm probably gonna end this stream soon because it sounds like my daughter is like throwing up. So yeah. So real quick, let's talk about Hulk. Hulk number 4. Donny Cates' Hulk. This probably shouldn't be my first Hulk book, but this is my first Hulk book. And so it's jarring. I don't know how long this is gonna last. But yeah, so basically we found out like Hulk flew into like another dimension where it's like all life stemmed from like this gamma radiation accident. Not all life, but a lot of like what we know of like superhero-dom was very much affected by the accident that created the Hulk. So there's like all these different Hulk creatures. We learned like what the fate of the X-Men and the Avengers were or was. And the twist at the end of this issue, it's just like this whole like this book is ridiculous. And it just keeps getting more ridiculous. But it's also fun. Like I really want to show you guys the last page of this book, but I can't do it because that'd be spoiling it. But it's like every issue ends at a point where I'm like, what the heck is about to happen next? So like I said, this probably shouldn't be my first Hulk book, but it is my first Hulk book or first Hulk series. But it's fun. It's ridiculous. It's bombastic. It's Donny Cates doing Donny Cates. I just got to see how this pays off. Is how I feel about Hulk. So it's moving up the top. It's moving up the ranks of like my favorite superhero books. Like I definitely like anticipate reading Hulk when it comes out. So that's what's up. So those are the 4 books that I read. Those are the 4 books that I read this week so far. Like I said, I got a whole stack over here that I still need to get to, including the 10 Lives of Wolverine, Venom, Green Lantern, Spider-Man, Justice League. They're gearing up for the Death of Justice League and a new Crisis at DC Comics. So that's going to be interesting. But look, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream because I don't know what's going on. I'm assuming my baby is just like really tired and she's doing the like, I'm going to scream because I want to go to sleep. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream, give my wife a break. I appreciate you guys joining me for the hangout. It's crazy and I just keep buying it. That's exactly how I feel about Hulk. It's crazy. It just gets more ridiculous, but I'm down for the ride. But yeah. So I'm going to go get that baby. I'm going to holler at you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining the hangout. And I'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Peace.